my God, Farhan Akhtar is here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? I'm liking
कैसा
this
रहूंगा
wonderful
मैं?
light, the wonderful lighting that's happening on your face right now.
I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I'm really amazing. Okay, I should introduce myself. My name is Sappe Bhari Akash Tiwari. You can call me Akash. And
Okay.
yes, before starting, I just want to tell you we have taken all the safety measures and precautions, so you don't need to worry. कोई भी एक question Dawn 3 या दिल चाहता है sequel के ऊपर नहीं है.
अच्छा, चलिए.
So you don't need to worry about that. And yes, thank you so much for joining in.
I can find.
yes.
बस इसी बात से मैं घबरा रहा था, इसलिए सोच रहा था कि मैं यहाँ आऊँ कि नहीं आऊँ, मगर अब सारी मेरी चिंता आपने दूर कर दी.
Yes. You're welcome. But yes, Farhan, I need to shoot with my first question because you're very short on time and I know how punctual you are. So, you are this versatile guy who does everything. Who does everything? You're a singer, writer, actor, producer, director, everything, and you're good at everything. Okay? When you do more than one task, what I believe is there's two things you bring in. One, a different flavor which no one else can bring in. And second thing is there's this intuition game which builds up a certain amount. If you're doing a lot of things, you get to know कि भाई ये चीज चलेगा और ये चीज नहीं चलेगा. This is shit or this is not going to work. But then there's this different kind of school of thoughts who believe that आपको एक ही चीज करना चाहिए. Get that one thing, focus on that thing, and then only you can be successful. But in your case, it's not like that. You're in a lot of fields, okay? And your films also. That's the reason I believe that people get connected to your films, your work. Dil chahta hai. I know that even you had this name of your family, and still, people from Bollywood industry didn't support it. Like they were saying negative comments, and then once Dil Chahta was released, it was like a cult. People were like, "Oh, whoa, what is this movie is something different." You knew it, but no one else could. So do you think because of you doing such lot of things, it has helped you to develop those things, or no, you believe that those kind of people are true? Just
No,
one thing.
I feel, first to start with,
Yeah.
I feel everybody walks a separate path. Everybody has their own journey.
Yeah.
What has worked for me is not necessary that it would work for you. What works for you is not necessary would work for somebody else. I know many people who do just one thing they're very passionate about, and they excel at it, and they're very, very good at it. And that is also
Excel.
absolutely fine.
Yeah, Excel.
No, there's no plug there, but, for the lack of another word. Okay. So it really is, it's not about, I don't see it as something that is so great that somebody does different things. So that means that person is more talented than somebody who just does one thing. The important thing is how well do you do what you do. That is truly what is important. So if you're doing one thing and you're not just a part of the machinery, not just one random cog in a wheel who's doing a job nobody else could have done, that's where the difference lies. What is it that you bring to any single job that you do? What is unique? What is not? Because there is nothing unique about the job. People have directed before, people have acted before, people have sung before, people have written before. So there's nothing unique about the job. What you bring to it is what could make it possibly unique to you. So similarly, in any field of work, in any area of endeavor that a person plans to go or get into, I think the thing to focus on is I am doing a piece of work, and the reason that this work should be good is because I am doing it. That's how I see it.
Yes. Okay. That hit me hard, If I'm doing this, then it should be good because I'm doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no one ever believes in the class clown or the stupidest guy, who always fools around. And like you have done things which parents would always tell no.
Yeah.
Drinking, dropping out of college, fooling around with people and stuff.
Yeah.
And plus,
Probably not the best place to be talking about dropping out of college, but yes,
yeah,
that too.
it's fine. अगर आप college webinar में इस चीज के बारे में बात कर रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. But I hope you're not getting offended. I think this kind of conversation, informal conversation,
नहीं
is
नहीं,
the
not at
best
all,
kind
not
of
at all. I mean, this
conversation
is,
which we have.
मैं इसके बारे में बात कर चुका हूँ बहुत यार. I mean, this is a part of my life. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed about anything that has happened to me.
Yes, yeah, but no, actually, this is a good point which I'm taking out. It's like the kind of lifestyle you have, playing different characters, and the kind of lifestyle which you had before. No one would ever
Hmm.
believe like someone would be making such kind of films or doing such kind of things what you are doing. But like, what are the things you do, or where do you get so much of depth inside yourself? Like, what are you doing? You can find so much of depth, emotions, whatever you have, whatever you bring it out. How do you do that?
Yeah, everybody has emotions inside of them. It is how do you tap into them? And I think the best place, and this I would recommend to anyone, especially who wants to go into a creative field, is please, please, please read books. It is very, very important. Because when you read something, see, watching a film is somebody has created the imagery for you, somebody has created the sound for you, somebody has created the setting for you. You're, of course, you're reacting to it, but you're not using your imagination as much as you would when you're reading a book. When you're reading a book, you picture the character's face. When you read a book and I read a book, the same character will look different to you and the same character will look different to me. The room that you imagine will be different, the room that I imagine will be different. So it helps you keep your creativity very, very alive. It helps you constantly stay in touch with various emotions inside your head, inside your heart, in a very, very organic kind of way. So I would recommend that to anybody who has any creative bent of mind. So surely, I mean, of course, everyone should read regardless. But for people especially who want to go into a creative field, and I don't mean only कि writer बनना है या director बनना है. अगर आपको acting भी करनी है, कुछ भी काम करना है, I think reading books is very, very essential. And that is something that I did do when I didn't go to college,
And watching a lot of films as well. Yeah.
and watching a lot of
But like,
films.
do you
Yes.
just read books to get into that place, like where you bring in so much of like the kind of things you bring in?
Um,
It's like everyone gets connected to you.
thank you for that. I don't know, um, because these things are not conscious. मतलब ये एक सबकॉन्शियस लेवल पे बातें होती हैं. जब आप कुछ लिख रहे हो तो आपको लगता है कि अगर मुझे लिखते हुए या पढ़ते हुए ये ऐसी एक फीलिंग आ रही है अंदर, तो जाहिर सी बात है कि मतलब जो अगर लोग देखेंगे तो उन्हें भी ये फीलिंग आनी चाहिए. और अगर ये फीलिंग, कभी कभी होता है, ऐसा भी होता है कि अब जो आपने स्क्रिप्ट में पढ़ा है और आपको एक अच्छी सी इमोशन आई, अगर आप हंसे या आपको आंसू आ गए, कभी कभी आप स्क्रीन पे देखते हो तो इट डजंट ट्रांसलेट करेक्टली ऑल्सो. So that is actually a fault of us then, maybe as filmmakers or as actors, that we were not able to do justice to a scene or to a dialogue when we brought it onto film. But that's the attempt every single time, कि अगर इमोशन मुझे फील हो रहा है तो जाहिर सी बात है कि जो लोग देखेंगे उन्हें फील होना तो चाहिए.
Okay. So, I need to come to this part. This is very important part. Wherever you go, you're always introduced as an actor, writer, director, etc. Okay. People glorify that part a lot and then criticize you for XYZ reasons. Okay. But they would never recognize or celebrate you for, mard or being associated with you and women. So tell me, why are you still doing this if you're not being recognized? Because I'll tell you the kind of attitude we have. Okay. We usually say this, अरे मैंने इतना सारा किया उसके लिए, but कुछ हुआ नहीं फायदा. The people who are
Hmm.
organizing numerous six, there are chances like people will say कि यार college festivals करके कुछ नहीं मिलता है. There are
Hmm.
chances, and then they leave. So why are you
Hmm.
still doing this? You are not getting any recognition for this.
यार नहीं, कुछ काम ऐसे होते हैं, मतलब they're not important to me. Recognition is not important. The effect of what you're doing or the result of what you're doing is more important. I do my films. I hope, I mean, of course, that you want your film, your work to be good to start with. That's number one.
Yeah.
But you do want to be recognized for your work. You do want to be appreciated for your work. You do want to be successful when you're doing that work. So that is one aspect of my life. And over there, if I feel that my films are doing well, and if my work is being appreciated and nobody still knows who I am, then that's a problem. But in this in this aspect of it's something as a cause that I've believed in for a long, long time. It took the shape of this initiative called Mard in 2013.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've been working away as much as we possibly can. over the last 7 years. And to me, within that, recognition is not, it's not a part of that equation. To get awareness, to raise awareness, to be associated with people who are maybe doing a lot more than I can possibly do given the time that I have, but to align with them, to use whatever resources I have, or to use my celebrity to help further their cause, is something I feel very passionate about. And to me, it doesn't matter whether people know that it's me doing it, not doing it. As long as the work's getting done, it
That's the
doesn't make
reason
any
I asked
difference.
you, because ऐसे thoughts आते हैं कि if I'm doing, what is the use, but not to you because you are at that
Hmm.
level, but maybe for us, we are starting it right now, and those thoughts would come. That's the reason I asked you.
नहीं, और ऐसा हो सकता है, somebody had said that if you find something that you're passionate about to do, you will never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. You have to find what, see, agar you do anything for the sake of just doing it and you're not passionate about it, maybe in a year or two you'll start feeling मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ यार, मतलब कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है, मुझे कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है return में.
Yeah.
That's understandable. But if you're passionate about something, you will continue to do it regardless. I mean, there are painters who have died completely poor. you know they didn't stop painting because that's something that they love to do. They could have gotten a job somewhere and worked in a bar, or worked in in a restaurant somewhere, or
Yeah.
worked in a farm. But they decided to just continue following their passion. And at that point, you don't care about money, and you don't care about those things. Those aren't important in that aspect of life, at least.
True. I have this one more last question, but उसके लिए like दो या तीन audience question मैं ले रहा हूँ, just for because
Yeah,
even
yeah,
they
sure.
want, I shouldn't be the only guy lucky for this. So there's someone is asking, आसमां है नीला क्यों, पानी गीला गीला क्यों, गोल क्यों है जमीन? सोचा है क्या?
ये आपके साइंस कोर्स में है कि कौन से कोर्स में है? उनको बोलिए
He
अभी के
was in
अभी
science.
साइंस.
वो science में ही है.
देखा, सी, और ये सवाल मुझसे पूछ रहे हैं आप? यार मैंने तो कॉलेज छोड़ दी थी, आप मुझे बताइए. मैंने तो सवाल पूछ लिए थे ना वहां पे, अभी तक मुझे जवाब नहीं मिला उसका. मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ.
Epic answer. Like that's because because you tweet every day. That's the answer. you build such reflexes. But yes. So there's one more person asking. Tell us one of your situations when you were in this movie making scene. One of the funniest situations ever happened. जब film
One
बन
of
रहा
the
था.
funniest situations on Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. Actually, there were many moments where the actors, predominantly Abhay, Ritik, and myself, in certain scenes found it very, very difficult to keep a straight face. So Zoya would start getting very annoyed with us, because every time she would roll camera, one of us, our shoulders would start going like this, because we were trying to control our laugh and we can't control it. And I'm sure this happens to sometimes in a classroom, when you're sitting in a classroom where that laughter fit happens,
Please give
you
me
know.
some
So
tips
it feels,
every time.
it
Yeah.
it was like that. And so there were many moments like that of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, where we were just, the scene where Ritik tells me, when Abhay is dropping Kalki off to the airport, and he says, यार हमारे दोस्त को देख क्या हो गया है, जब ये वापस आएगा ना ऐसे बातें करेंगे,
Yeah.
बात करना पड़ेगा ऐसे. And I say, yeah, of course, जरूर जरूर. In that scene, we had to drop a couple of shots because it was not possible to finish it. Every time Ritik would turn to me and say, हाँ, वापस आएगा ना बात करते हैं, I would start laughing. I couldn't help it. So there were moments like that in that film, a lot of them.
Okay. Okay. So like, yeah, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा, दिल चाहता है. These are like some movies, a go-to movie for us whenever we feel low or whenever some kind of moment. What is your go-to film?
My go-to films, let me think here. I mean, I like watching, like, the Mr. Bachchan's early films. I do like watching those.
Yeah. And Die
So,
Hard.
oh, I love Die Hard, absolutely. I
25
haven't seen that for a
times.
while. Yeah. When it came out, so I was watching it every single day. That video cassette that got cussed out so badly. It's not funny. But films that I like watching, um, I mean, honestly, it depends on my mood. But I mean, like, in when it comes to like slightly lighter films, possibly A Fish Called Wanda, I love very much. I don't know if you and your friends and all have seen it, but I would highly recommend it. It's a film called Fish Called Wanda. You should watch that.
Okay.
It's a good comedy. Yeah.
Same question. Always wanted to ask you this. Why do you think Dil Chahta Hai still works and still feels so fresh every time you say it, even after more than a decade?
यार, ये जवाब आपको मुझे, you and your friend should give me, because to me it is a mystery. Um, I mean, when I made it, this is now 20 years ago that this film released. And when I think, I mean, it is, I'm beyond thankful for it, but it still amazes me when I meet some people who were probably just, I don't know, sometimes not born, or just like maybe 4 or 5 years old when that film released.
Yeah.
And the connection that they have to that movie and the connection that they have to the music of that movie, it amazes me every single time. It completely blows me away that it's kind of uh, bridged this gap of generations that have followed after it released. And I don't know what the answer to it is. I just think that it touches upon, I guess, the importance of friendship, the value of friendship, and a deeper meaning of friendship, not just that tu mera dost hai, like that kind of
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
that we used to watch. It touches on something deeper than that, and I think that probably resonates with all generations, because I think that friendship is an important part of growing up, and
Yeah,
especially when you're
because
in a
that's
college
what dil
environment.
chahta hai.
I guess, but it is amazing to me, and I'm just every single day thankful for it.
And just to let you know, this is one of the questions which a professor asked. That's Mr.
Oh
Yogesh
goodness.
Kamath and not a student. So there's this one question I want to ask. I know we are short on time, but I still want to, I'm
Hmm.
crossing my limit. But please tell me why are you doing this? Like, why did you agree to do this webinar talk? And I'll tell you my situation. Like, I was rehearsing myself for 3 days. मैं देख रहा था अपने आप को कि मैं फरहान अख्तर से ऐसे बात कर रहा हूँ. Obviously you might be not being watching yourself like that way, but when you sat down and you were just opening this thing and joining the Zoom meeting, कुछ तो आएगा ना दिमाग में कि what do you actually want me to ask you? कुछ तो ऐसा सोचा होगा आपने कि क्या शायद इसने ऐसा पूछ लिया तो मजा आ जाता या. So what did you actually wanted me to ask you, or why did you do
No,
that?
yeah, honestly, I'm telling you, you've done an amazing job. I don't know if you want to call it a job, but but you're doing an amazing thing. And I must tell you that I would not be able to do what you're doing even half as well
Am I in an
as you are doing
Excel?
it. You are excelling yourself,
Oh,
right?
oh shit, yaar.
Yeah,
Excitement
yeah.
हो गया. Yeah.
Seriously. So I thank you. Actually, you are somebody who is making it easy for this conversation to flow the way
Yeah.
it is flowing. So thank you very much for that.
But like just one thing, like what did you actually wanted me to ask you? Like suppose अगर what this one
नहीं,
question.
ऐसा ऑनेस्टली ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, मतलब हम लोग काम की बात कर रहे हैं, जिंदगी की बात कर रहे हैं, ये चीजें आई गेस फॉर पीपल हु आर लुकिंग इन,
Yeah.
they're important to on some level interesting, and to learn, to hear, maybe if there's anything to learn from, I guess, to learn from. And I would also like to just share with everybody who's watching. I want to say to them that it really has been a very tough year,
Yeah.
and I do feel that for especially for a college going crowd, the experience of actually going, meeting friends, hanging out on campus is such a major part, of the experience. And it's almost like a year of that has been wiped out from everyone's calendar, but so just really sad about that, but just hang in there, and all the best for everything to come. Things are only going to start getting better from now.
Yes, thank you so much. We are not depressed at all. We had this great conversation with you. I'm telling you, अपना optimistic level is like skyrocket high.
Shally, wonderful, good to know.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, Farhan, and you are a creative person. You're also a great producer. You're good in creative as well as business. This is one selfish question because you won't get to talk to Farhan Akhtar every day. So this is my selfish question. Like, how do you manage those creative things at business side both? How do you manage both of them together?
To be honest, the business side of my company
Yeah.
is handled more hands-on by my partner Ritesh Sidwani.
Yeah.
And I feel, we've been partners now for the last 21 years. And I feel very lucky, to have somebody like him, to be a partner with somebody like him, because I trust him implicitly with everything.
Yeah.
And I feel we found the right balance, in terms of working with his strengths and working with my strengths, and kind of complementing each other so that we can get our company to grow in the direction that we want it to.
Yeah.
So as far as the business aspect of it is concerned, he truly is, the guy who handles that aspect of Excel Entertainment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Farhan, for joining us and for joining numero 6. I hope you
Oh,
enjoyed,
oh,
and I hope
absolutely.
you
Thank you
had
very much.
fun talking to me.
Absolutely. Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, Farhan. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
So I think so. You need, you need to leave the room and go to the
I
breakout.
should just go exit. All right. Goodbye then.
Okay. Bye.